Good evening. Welcome back to my late night spook show here on the Horror Metal channel. I'm Hellhound, and I figured I would count down my top 10 favorite concert videos, which are DVDs, Blu-rays of live concerts, performances by some of my favorite bands. I have a lot of music-related DVDs. A lot of them are just a lot of them are music videos and interviews and documentaries and stuff. But I'm just going to talk about live concerts. Some of these DVDs and stuff have other things like that on there, but it's mostly about the concerts, the live recordings. So maybe I'll talk about those other videos another day. But anyway, I actually have 20 here. Well, technically 21, but I'll explain that in a minute. 20, and I guess I'll do 10 of them will just be honorable mentions, and the other 10 will be my my 1 through 10 list. So let's get the honorable mentions out of the way first. So we have Live in Munich, 1977 by Rainbow. Of course, Ronnie James Dio, my second favorite vocalist ever, next to Rob Halford from Judas Priest, teaming up with Richie Blackmore. Just a winning combination. It's a great concert. It has some great songs. All of my favorite Rainbow songs. Man on the Silver Mountain and Catch the Rainbow and all that. Long Live Rock and Roll. Do You Close Your Eyes? That's just a bonus feature. It's got the Gates of Babylon music video, which is really cool. That's another one of my favorite songs. A couple of interviews as well, and some photo galleries and commentaries. Great concert DVD. I highly recommend it for fans of Ronnie James Dio and Richie Blackmore and just metal in general. I think Bob Daisley was their bass player during this live show as well, if I'm not mistaken. So he's a great bass player. And Cozy Powell's on drums. Rest in peace. And rest in peace, Ronnie James Dio. Yeah, great video. Also, Double Live Dynamo by Exodus, which is actually two different concerts, one from 1985 and one from 1997. Both of them were fronted by original singer Paul Bailoff before he died. He was only on one studio album, their debut, Bonded by Blood, and so it's pretty cool to have two different live concerts with him fronting the band. Yeah, I love Exodus. I love that lineup. Gary Holt's one of my favorite guitarists as well, and Paul Bailoff was a great thrash singer. I also have a live DVD with Rob Dukes as the vocalist. So I need to go with Steve Souza because he was on vocals longer than anybody else. So to complete my collection of Exodus DVDs, I need one with Steve Souza because I got one with Bailoff and Dukes. But yeah, pretty good. Check it out. Also, Live in London by Testament. Alive 2 by Anthrax. This was during their reunion in 2005. So they're the classic lineup. Joey Belladonna, Dan Spitz, they're all there. Scotty Ian and co. put on a great show. I saw them in concert a few years ago. They were awesome. Wish Dan Spitz could have been with them, but he was on this DVD, which is pretty cool. A lot of great songs. Great concert. And I'm glad that Joey Belladonna eventually came back to the band for good after this brief reunion tour. I've got some older Anthrax videos too, but I think this is the best because some of those other ones don't have all of my favorites, most of my favorite songs on. This one's lacking quite a few of them too, but damn good show nonetheless. Also, At the Pulse of Capitulation by Creator. They're a great thrash metal band. Millie Petroza is very talented. It also comes with a bonus CD. Yeah, it's a great live concert. We have Alive in Athens by Iced Earth. They put on a great show too. Live and Loud by Ozzy. Hell yeah. Got some of my favorite songs in there. He always puts on a great show, of course. He's got great stage presence. He's a true showman. Doomsday LA by Deicide. I think this was during their Scars of the Crucifix tour, if I'm not mistaken. Or a little bit after it, maybe. Quite a few of my favorite songs are in this live recording. They put on a hell of a show, too. Born Undead by Autopsy. It was a great concert. They put on a great performance, as always. There they are. Love those guys. One of my favorite death metal bands. And hell yeah, it's great. Great performance. And Blood Puke Salvation by Marduk. I think this is the only black metal concert I have on this list. I love Marduk. And I'm pretty sure Mortis was fronting the band at this point, if I'm not mistaken. Marduk, Blood Puke Salvation. Alright, now onto the main list. I'm going to go through these kind of quickly. I don't want this video to be too long. Live Cannibalism by Cannibal Corpse. Hell yeah. I think this was shortly after George Fisher joined the band. Well, no, it was in 2000. It was in 2000. Okay, so he'd been there for a few years. I think he joined in, 96? 95? So he hadn't been there that long. There's a lot of songs from Vile. A lot of songs from their first 4 albums with Chris Barnes. Yeah, they put on a hell of a show. Love Cannibal Corpse. Great stuff. George Fisher is actually my favorite death metal vocalist, and Alex Webster is my favorite death metal bassist. I want to say they had Pat O'Brien and Jack Owen on guitar during this concert, but don't quote me on that because I might be wrong. They might have had Rob Barrett. Pretty sure this is before Owen left. Yeah, it had to. I don't know. Not important, but anyway, great show. All right, then we have Live in L.A. by Death. Hell yeah, Chuck Schuldiner and company also put on a great show. I wish I could have seen them live, but unfortunately he passed away. So, it would be. They couldn't have Death without him, of course. He was Death, and he always had very talented musicians working with him. Hell yeah, a lot of great songs. Great concert. I wish I could have been there. War at the Warfield by Slayer. Now, they have another DVD that I also have called Still Raining, and most people prefer that one to this one. But the thing about that is, Still Raining is basically just Rain and Blood played front to back, the whole album with a few bonus tracks. This has most of their hits from Rain and Blood, as well as a lot of other great songs as well. So I kind of prefer this one overall, because again, this is more of my favorite songs. But yeah, Kerry King, Jeff Hanneman, Tom Araya, Dave Lombardo put on a hell of a show. I've seen Slayer twice with both lineups. The first time they had Jeff and Dave, and the second time they had Gary and Paul. And yeah, they put on a magnificent concert for sure. Sucks I'll probably never see them again, of course, since they're disbanded. But who knows? Maybe we'll do a reunion someday. But anyway, yeah, War at the Warfield by Slayer. Even though most people would go Still Raining, which is also a great concert. I recommend them both. That one night, Megadeth. Megadeth also puts on a great concert. Unfortunately, this is when David Ellefson was out of the band during this time, and he's out of the band again now, which really sucks. So it's basically just Dave Mustaine and whatever revolving door lineup of musicians he has. But anyway, it's still a great concert. A lot of my favorite songs are on this, as you can see. A lot of the biggest hits. Yeah, hell yeah. Highly recommend it. Sorry, I had to pose for the thumbnail. I know, I'm lame. Cliff 'Em All by Metallica. Now I think this has like quite a few different live footage when they had Cliff Burton, of course, before he died. So it's mostly stuff from I think it's all stuff from their first 3 albums, which are my favorite. And yeah, this is back when Metallica was a pure thrash band through and through, before they kind of became more commercial and radio friendly and like overly mainstream. This is back when they were just thrash metal incarnate. They all had long hair. They all looked like true rockers, and they put on a hell of a show. Yeah, all my favorite songs from the first 3 albums are on here. Yeah, great concert. It was a great footage, some few interviews, and some awesome special features as well. Check it out. Sacred Heart, the DVD by Dio. I also have Holy Diver Live, also by Dio, but this one's a little older, and that other one has a lot of great songs on it too. But this one has a few Rainbow songs like Man on the Silver Mountain and Long Live Rock and Roll. I don't think there's any of the songs from Black Sabbath when he's in the band, but there's obviously there's a whole bunch from the Dio band. But anyway, yeah, he puts on a hell of a show, of course, and yeah, I highly recommend this DVD. Long live Dio. Rest in peace. Songs for the Dead Live by King Diamond. It's about time they put out a live video, one that was like official and like widely established at least. I know they had like a few like unofficial recordings, I think, and some unreleased stuff. But anyway, yeah, this is actually 2 different concerts. One from 2015 and one from 2016. But it's pretty much the same set list. It's pretty much all the same songs. Yeah, all my favorite songs here from Abigail and Them and Conspiracy and other great albums. I think there might be 1 or 2 from Puppet Master, if I'm not mistaken. I just got this recently, so I actually haven't watched it yet. So, I watched it once. I watched part of it. I watched some of it earlier today, but I didn't finish it, is what I meant to say. Sorry. Yeah, I have watched like half of it, or half of the first disc anyway. And yeah, I can already tell. Yeah, I've seen some of these on YouTube before too, so I can already tell. It definitely belongs in my top 10, even though I haven't seen it all the way yet. Because yeah, King Diamond and Company, they put on a great show. Andy LaRocque's one of my favorite guitarists of all time. He's kind of underrated. You don't hear him talked about as much. And of course, King Diamond's one of my all-time heroes. yeah, it's great concert. I would have loved to have been at this concert. Hopefully they'll come around my area sometime again soon. And I'll go see them for sure, because, yeah, it's great stuff. I wish Merciful Fate would put out a live DVD. That'd be great. Or just even a live album for that, man. I don't think they have a live album. Needs to happen. There's a couple Merciful Fate songs on here, too, though. Come to the Sabbath and Melissa from their first album. From Merciful Fate's first album. But, yeah, King Diamond. Love it. And then we also have, we have a tie. We have Never Say Die by Black Sabbath from the Ozzy era, and Radio City Live Music Hall from the Black Sabbath Dio era. Yeah, I'm going to say it's a tie because it's my favorite band in two different eras, two different lineups, the Ozzy era and the Dio era. This is a lot newer, of course. This was during, I think this was like during the actual Never Say Die album in 1978, right before Ozzy left the first time. Yeah, they put on a hell of a concert. A lot of my favorite songs are on here. Unfortunately, there's a few songs from the album Never Say Die, which I'm not a big fan of. But it's got some good ones, too. Symptom of the Universe, War Pigs, of course, Snowblind, the title track, Black Sabbath, Electric Funeral, Children of the Grave, and, of course, Paranoid. Yeah, great concert. I've got a few other Black Sabbath DVDs as well. There's actually one called The Ozzy Osbourne Years, which is very hard to find. It's a lot of unreleased material, and it's actually more songs that I like, but a lot of them is really crappy quality, because I think they were, like, ripped from a VHS or something and put on a DVD format. But anyway, I definitely recommend this one, for sure, because you probably aren't going to find that other one I was talking about. Yeah, and then, of course, there's the Dio fronted Black Sabbath going under the moniker Heaven and Hell, named after their first album with Dio. And, yeah, of course, you know, they put on a great show, as always. Yeah, gotta love it. Long live Dio! Unfortunately, they don't play any of the Ozzy era songs like they used to. The first time he was in the band in the early 80s, he did do the Ozzy songs live as well. But they do all my favorite Dio songs, like my favorite Dio Sabbath songs, I mean, like Lady Evil and Voodoo, and Children of the Sea, The Mob Rules, Sign of the Southern Cross, Computer God from the Dehumanizer album, very underrated, Die Young, Lonely is the World, Neon Nights, yeah, it's all great. Love it. Number 2, it was a hard choice. I have a few Judas Priest live videos, and but I went with Electric Eye because this is jam-packed with all kinds of great stuff. It's got all these songs. These are music videos, and then it has Priest Live, 19 classic songs performed live in Dallas, Texas for the 1986 Fuel for Life tour. A lot of great songs there. And then, but my favorite part of this is the BBC TV performances. Some of Judas Priest's first appearances ever, like during their first album. You know, when they played Rock and Roll Up in the first album, then Dreamer, Deceiver, and Deceiver, which is my favorite Judas Priest song of all time from the Sad Wings of Destiny album, my favorite Priest album. And, yeah, just loaded with all kinds of crazy, great stuff from different eras of Priest, from different years, from their roots in, like, the mid-70s all the way to, like, the late 80s. Yeah, just jam-packed with great stuff. Rob Halford's my favorite vocalist of all time. He's awesome. They all put on a hell of a show. Everybody's top-notch. Glenn Tipton and KK Downing are just amazing on guitar. And I think they had, was it Scott Travis on drums? Yes, Scott Travis, yeah. And, of course, Ian Hill on bass, as always. Yeah. Electric Eye by Judas Priest. Check it out. And last but not least, my number one favorite concert DVD is, of course, Live After Death by Iron Maiden, which also happens to be my favorite live album. If you saw my top 5 live albums video, which I'm going to redo that pretty soon as a top 10 instead of only 5. But yeah, they put on a hell of a show. I've said that for pretty much all these DVDs, but it's true. Because, yeah, we have some of my favorite songs. We got 2 Minutes to Midnight, The Trooper, Revelations, Flight of Icarus, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, Power Slave, which is my favorite song by the Dickinson version of the band. Number of the Beast, of course, Hell Be Thy Name, Iron Maiden, the song Iron Maiden, of course Run of the Hills is on there, Running Free, which is from the Diano era, from their very first album, and Sanctuary, which is also from their self-titled debut. Hell yeah, it's pretty cool to see Dickinson sing those classic songs. Yeah, they put on a great concert. There's 2 discs. So the second disc is the part 2 of the documentary History of Iron Maiden. I've got part 1 as well, the full Iron Maiden story, and some more bonus concert footage. There's also some other songs performed during the documentary: Aces High, The Trooper, Number of the Beast, 22 Acacia Avenue, of course, Hella Be Thy Name. And then there's also the Rock in Rio performance from 1985, which has pretty much all the same songs that were on the first disc. Then there's promotional clips, a gallery, just loaded with features. So if you're going to have one Iron Maiden DVD, this is the one to have. Great concert, one of the best they ever put on, and jam-packed with awesome features. Up the irons. Alright guys, thank you for watching my video. Let me know what your favorite concert videos are in the comments below. And if there's any that I didn't list that I might not have seen already, feel free to recommend some. I'm open to some more suggestions. Let's talk about some great music, alright? Thank you for watching my late night spook show here on the Horror Metal channel. I'm Hellhound. Later.